Hello everyone and welcome back to another book review. Today I am going to be reviewing a photography collection featuring Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. This is a federally protected national lakeshore on Lake Michigan, which is one of the Great Lakes in the United States, and the photography is by Terry Phipps. It's called Seasons of Sleeping Bear and it is a fantastic photography collection. So in this book review I'm going to give some background on the region that is photographed in case you are not familiar with this region, and you can decide if this photography collection is right for you and if you need to book a trip to Sleeping Bear, which I suggest you do. And then we're going to look at some of the photography in here that I found to be my favorite so I can show you the photographs that I liked best from this collection. So let's dive in. As mentioned, Sleeping Bear Dunes is a nationally or federally protected area in the United States. It is on the shores of Lake Michigan in the state of Michigan. And it's called Sleeping Bear. It derives its name, Sleeping Bear, from the myths and legends of the native people who lived in this region. So these are myths from the Anishinaabe, I hope I'm saying that correctly, which is a Native American group that in Michigan consists of the Potawatomi, the Ottawa, and the Ojibwa. If I've missed anything, please let me know in the comment section down below. And these people had a myth about this Sleeping Bear region, which is most known for its impressive dunes, which are actually featured first thing in this book. So these massive dunes. The Anishinaabe had this myth that there was a mother bear and her two cubs who were swimming from the shores of Wisconsin, which is on the western side of Lake Michigan, to Michigan. And while they were swimming across the lake, the cubs got tired and wound up drowning shortly before hitting the shore of Michigan. So these two cubs and their drowned bodies are what is said to be, I believe, North and South Manitou Island, which is visible from the shore. And the mother came up on shore and fell asleep waiting for her cubs, and her huge body is what is then these dunes. It is an absolutely fabulous region, but the region and the area that's protected consists of more than just dunes. There's a lot of lake, a lot of forest, and a lot of great hiking in the area. And that region is now, of course, protected, as mentioned, so that it won't be, I guess, overly developed in the future, and it can be left to the enjoyment of different people who want to come visit. So with that aside, now that we have a background of this region, let's talk about some of my favorite photography in this. And I will be giving the page numbers so that you can find this if you're following along at home. The first is page 14, and this is what I consider perfect hiking. I found myself drawn in this photography collection a lot to the fall photography, and if I had to guess, it's because the season is turning into fall, so now I'm looking forward to fall and fall scenes. So because I'm anticipating fall, I think I was drawn more to the fall scenery, but here's some perfect hiking. The next is on page 28. If you have not experienced a sunset over Lake Michigan, I highly recommend it. It is as advertised in this photography, and you don't even have to go to Sleeping Bear to experience that, but I guess it's particularly beautiful in Sleeping Bear. Next is on page 39. This is another sunset, but in the winter. We have this. I just like the sunset scenes and the fall scenes. I think that's something that I definitely took away because 42 is a fall scene, a fall country road, a scene that we've all seen. That didn't sound correct, but I think it is. Again, I think I'm drawn to these due to the changing of the season. Again, this isn't those dunes, but the region in Sleeping Bear. Next is on page 50. We have some canoeing with the fall colors. I love the way fall colors reflect on lakes, and this is one of those smaller inland lakes that is just off the lakeshore. We get some more fall colors on page 52 and 53. Isn't that fantastic? Again, I think with the changing seasons, I'm now anticipating it. Where I live, the tips of the trees are just starting to turn. So we're not quite anywhere close to peak colors yet, but I am excited and ready for fall. Page 58, and this is South Manitou, or on South Manitou. I believe this is part of the Valley of the Giants where they have these massive trees. So this is on one of those islands that in the original myth was a cub that had drowned. And you can see these islands when you're in the dunes. When you're standing up and hiking in the dunes, you will be able to see these. We see this, that's a lighthouse on South Manitou, also one of the dunes. Something else that's very striking is the colors that the water in Lake Michigan has. We see it here, and it really will be this color. The colors are really, really pretty in the lake. I also experienced this not just in Lake Michigan, but in Lake Huron on the other side of Michigan. I've experienced that before. I should have also added, I have had the opportunity to go to Sleeping Bear a couple times, and I want to return because you cannot see everything in one trip. Here's another fall color example. This is on page 70. I can feel this one. 72, we have some of these unique ice formations that form on the edges of the lake. Going out to the lake in winter is a very, very unique experience, different from going in any of the other seasons, so it's worth visiting in all seasons, but summer is the most popular for visiting this region. And finally, page, right next door, 73. And I really liked how they captured that gray blue color that the lake gets in the winter. I feel like the photographer did a really good job of capturing that in this photograph. So I'm obviously not going to show you every single photograph in this collection because you will have to figure out yourself. If I don't want to ruin the surprise if you get this yourself and flip through it, but I would recommend picking this up if the photography seems interesting to you, or if after looking at this photography you may not want the photography collection but you want to visit. I highly recommend giving it a visit too. It is definitely worth it. But overall, Seasons of Sleeping Bear was a fantastic photography collection. I had a great time flipping through it, and it inspired me to make maybe even another trip. I've been once this year already, but maybe it's time to book another trip to Sleeping Bear because it is such a cool, beautiful, unique location. And this book offered some insights into Sleeping Bear around the different seasons. 5-star read, loved it, had a fantastic time, and I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts and comments on this photography collection. If you read it or if you just have thoughts based on what I've shown you, please let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.